You're in the right place if you're looking for a 3D printer to print miniatures and figures for tabletop RPGs or for any other gaming needs. In today's video, we'll talk about the best 3D printers for making miniatures and parts for board games, as well as what you should think about if you're planning to buy one. But before we start our video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon as well. So let's get started. Number 1. Anycubic Photon D2. So this is the second DLP printer for home use, right after the Photon Ultra. Whilst it feels a bit cheap with its mostly plastic components, including the resin vat, it's managed to get our number 1 pick. And that's because, from our own personal experience, we've been able to print higher quality miniatures on this, far more easily than with the Phrozen 8 key. When you find out that the resolution is only around 498p, it's even more impressive. Number 2. Phrozen Sonic Mini 8 Key. The Mini 8 is the present pinnacle of LCD quality. Whilst the screen has a weird aspect ratio, it is still the highest resolution screen available at this size. The information this thing can give is great. And it's here where the line between companies like Games Workshop and what you can print at home truly starts to blur. Yes, you can print models with this that are better than those from Forge World. But in my case, I have not had the best experience with printing miniatures out of the box. But that's mostly because of technical problems I've been having. I have to say that Phrozen's customer service has been good. Number 3. Elegoo Mars 3 Pro. The Elegoo Mars 3 Pro is possibly the best beginner 3D printer on the market right now. And the only reason it's not number 1 on the list is that the printers below offer better quality miniatures and a few more ease-of-use features. But the Mars 3 Pro is a simple and solid printer. Number 4. Phrozen Sonic Mini 4 Key. Yes, it's another fork printer, but this one is great for printing miniatures. As we said before, it doesn't really matter if you have a fork or a fork printer. Pixels per inch is what controls the level of detail on the X and Y axis. And here, because the printing area of the fork screen is only 6.1. That is a lot of detail in a small space. In fact, 722 ppi. The quality of the prints you can make with this is just beautiful. Don't even believe what Phrozen says. This thing is a beast of a machine, and it's also priced reasonably. Number 5. Sonic Mega 8 Key. The printer you want is this one. When it comes to 3D resin printing, this is like a closet full of good things. When 3D printing, you might think about the maximum size. It's in this. Yes, we are talking about the best printer for miniatures, and this beast is made to print models that are huge. And what could be better than making big copies of your miniatures? Or print an entire army in just a few hours on the huge surface area of the build plate. Number 6. ELGO Saturn. As mentioned above, the mono screen really helps with these printers. When the normal UV backlight is taken away, a grid of UV LEDs shines light on the curing plate in its place. This lets the light spread across the surface more evenly, letting the edges stand out more and speeding up the time it takes for each layer to cure. With a relatively large building area of 192 x 120 x 200 nm. This really shows how 3D printing with resin works. The entry-level models are great for a few parts, but if you buy a resin printer for miniatures and parts at first, you may want to upgrade. You'll soon want to throw out larger stuff. This will still give you something about the size of a typical action figure. Number 7. Anycubic Photon Mono X. Yes, we want to print small things when we're making miniatures, but this is one of the biggest resin printers on the market. In terms of size, it's about the same as Saturn by an inch, or 2 inches to be exact. It does have some good points, so choosing between these two is a bit ups and downs. The Mono X has advantages like a more stable build plate. The extra 2 build height was already mentioned, and the Photon lets you print an RER file, which is a way to test multiple exposure times on one print. Great for fine-tuning your print settings at first, but it can be a real pain to get this to work. Number 8. Phrozen Sonic Mighty 4K. We now have a 4K printer. Phrozen is a very well-known brand, but their products don't sell as often because they aren't on Amazon, which is the world's most popular online store. But if you go to Phrozen's website, you can find a lot of amazing things like printers and their very, very good resin. Most of the time, we think Phrozen is the best manufacturer's own brand resin. Even though this fork printer is a little lower on the list than some others, that doesn't mean it's a bad printer. Phrozen is the more well-known brand right now, and the only reason this item isn't higher on the list is because, even though it's fork, it's spread out over a bigger screen area than the other items, giving it a VX resolution that is just a little bit smaller. And resolution is the most important thing for detail in miniatures. Number 9. LGO Mars 2 Mono. Now nothing is more popular than the Mars 2 when it comes to entry-level resin printers. In 2019, the Photon S and the first Mars went head-to-head, and I liked the Anycubic one better because it was easy to use right out of the box. Mars took the lead in the engaged community because of how much it cost. Once again, people have found the best curing settings to the millisecond thanks to this community. They've done this with so many different resins that it's now very easy to start with just a little help from the community. Number 10. Creality Halot One. Creality made a name for itself by being one of the first companies to make consumer-grade 3D FDM printers, but when it comes to resin, they are still playing catch-up. The Harlot One is a good addition to the 3D printers that are already on the market. It has great resolution and even lighting. This is a great resin 3D printer for beginners. The bad thing about this product is that there isn't a big group of people who use it. Compared to the other brands, there just isn't one. The printer also has a Wi-Fi mode, so you can send prints to it from afar and even update the firmware without having to go over to it. So that's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.